Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. It's great to see you all here. Firstly, I would like to say thank you for listening my answer to the question given. My name is Adelia Putri Adiko with the student number B1024191013. I'm from Management International class, bench 2019 in Tanjung Pura University. Now I'm here to answer the question given by my lecturer, Sir Adi Mursalin. There are 4 questions in the part A. Next, I will answer the question on the part B, which deal with the theories of performance management. There are 9 questions in there. And the last one, I will watch 4 video given, then answer the question that follows. Well, my dear friend, let's start from the first question of part A, which deal with the activity in Zoom meeting. Number 1, how many times do you attend the Zoom class of performance management? Why do you attend the Zoom meeting class of performance management? So I have attended class for 6 times, and I attend every performance management class because I want to expand my knowledge about performance management. In this class, I learned so much about how to improve performance in the workplace to match the expectation in the organization or company. The question number 2, what topics have been discussed in the Zoom meeting of performance management lecturer, and what have you got from discussing the topic of performance management? So we already discussed for 6 topics, 1 topic per week. As I mentioned before, I got many knowledge about performance management, and I learn about how to improve performance, my own performance or skill in the workplace to match the expectation in some company or organization. The question number 3, are you active in this discussion during the Zoom meeting class of HRM? How many times have you answered the question given? Mention the question you have answered and what are you answer to the question. So yes, I am very active in the discussion. Every week, one student gave the 6 questions, include the video, then I answer as well as another student. One of the questions that I already answered are 1. In your opinion, what is the difference between formal feedback and informal feedback? Formal feedback is a necessity in the job place to adhere to any company policies, but also to document formal progress, where growth can occur because of this type of feedback is less likely. An example of formal feedback will be performance review and growth plans, while informal feedback could be as simple as a passing suggestion or a more in a deep sit-down conversation. Meanwhile, informal feedback is the main type seen during the workday, working by informal conversation and even more formal sit-down that are not tied to any assessment tools or framework accountability. The question number 2 mentions some tips for effective formal employee performance review meeting. You can answer the coaching improvement and development plan is implementing, and then check the progress in the meeting objective and timelines, target and deal with any difficult in achieving the coaching plan. And the last one is the question that I have give to my friends. How can coaching people by giving feedback can improve employee work performance? Feedback can be defined as a process of giving constructive suggestion. From the definition, it is clearly that feedback that given by can be used as a tool for help evaluate themselves and their work, and also how others perceive them. In evaluating, it gives them the opportunity to convey what works for them and what doesn't work. The question number 4, what is your impression of joining the performance management lecture online? Explain your answer and what the advantage that I can get from attending the performance management lecture online differ by your lecturer. So I found this class quite fun. In this class, I got new knowledge. In this class, I also learned how to express my opinion, of course related to performance management. And the advantage that I got from this class, I learned how to improve performance in the workplace to match the expectation that has been set by organization or company. Now let's move to the part B, which is related with the theories of performance management. 1. What is the mean by improving employee performance through the workplace coaching? Explain your answer. Coaching at the work requires leader to provide clarity by discussing and reviewing the gap between performance expectation and actual performance with employees. With a good and correct coaching direction, an employee can maximize their performance at work. 2. How do you improve your employee performance through workplace coaching? Explain your answer. A coach who provides effective coaching gives an individual a roadmap for how to apply what has been discussed in the workplace. And then you should be prepared to explain why specific behavior, result, or action need to change, how they should change, and where you would like to see the person as a result of changing their behaviors or action. This will make it much easier for you to recipient to understand that you are trying to help improve their performance on the job and how this change will accomplish that. Number 3, mention and explain the 9 principles of performance management system. 1. Apart from being injured, the worst thing that can happen to anybody in the workplace is to be shaken. Not far behind is actually doing shaking. In many cases where the termination leads to a claim for unfair dismissal, the cost can be horrendous. 2. Most dismissal can be prevented if manager at all levels actively manage their performance against performance standard. 3. Excellent people management begins at the time of selection and recruitment and only ends when the individual leaves the organization. The first step is therefore setting expectation at an earliest possible time. It should apply equally to casual and part-time employee. 6. An individual developed plans is highly desirable to provide first 6 to 12 months of employment. 4. Performance in the workplace relates not only to the person's competence to do the job to required standard, but also include the behaving in a manner that meets expectation of organization, which is not just a management. 5. The cornerstone of the best practice people management is a regular day-to-day feedback and coaching as a close in the time to even as possible early intervention supported by formal review where there are no surprises. 6. Everyone can be competent in managing people provided they are committed to the concept of early intervention as a part of their normal day-to-day activity. Feedback focusing on both the acknowledge of excellent performance as well as addressing underperformance is another cornerstone of our approach. 7. The use of performance improvement. Individual development plans to deal with the process of agreed change to the way we do things is essential to give the system some rigor and ensure people are dealt with professionally in the process of development. 8. These principles apply at every level of organization and in every organization but need to be purpose-built to suit the particular environment. The last one, 9. Managing people is the first responsibility of line manager. HR is there to assist, guide, and coach manager and ensure that appropriate systems are in place. Number 4. Please look at the figure 1.1 concerning a people management approach on the page 17. Please explain in the details the figure 1.1 on your own word. In the figure 1.1, there are 4 points that need to be considered in the people management approach: managing people, performance, and development. Managing. Before managing people, it needs to set a specific plan to tackle during their coaching engagement. These goals should be based on a balance of the wants of the employee and the needs of organization. Good leadership can also improve the quality on the employee work. Therefore, a leader must be able to approach his employee by communicating so that you can build a relationship with your staff that are based on the trust, so that down the road you can provide coaching with candor and empathy. People, it should know that clearly what is expected of them, what and then deserve to be treated by honesty, respect, and dignity. People should also expect mental toughness from their manager, who operate by encourage of his or her conviction will wisely the principle of natural justice. These are the foundation for successful workplace teams. It is their job to accept responsibility for and success in the achieving the required result. Performance. In improving performance, it needs to clarify expectation in regard to result or processes and behavior. Therefore, providing feedback in the workplace is very necessary as a close to specific work even as a possible. Early intervention, being always vigilant for timely opportunities to give feedback. Last one is a development. The individual team development plan should be seen as a never-ending, continuous improvement process. Whilst individuals have the right to pursue their own development, it is an imperative to negotiate tight connection between the focus and needs of the organization and the needs of individual and team. In maintaining the competitive edge of each person, the competitive edge of organization is also developed. There are other ways, and these need to be considered in line with the nature of the performance improvement required. These may include mentoring work, shadowing, or you can say spending time with the top performer, job rotation, exchange, and project. The question number 5: what is managing people, and how do you manage your people at workplace? The effective managers needs to be good at managing people. This means having the skill to get the best out of people. It doesn't mean narrowly controlling them. Managing people can define as a process of training, motivating, and directing employee to optimize workplace productivity and promote professional growth. Workplace leaders such as leader team leads, manager, and department head use people management to oversee the workflow and boost employee performance every day. To manage people, effective communication is in the business is a two-way street. Just as you want to provide your team with constructive feedback, you should frequently ask for feedback from your team in return. Ask employee to offer their honest feedback formally and informally without fear or retaliation. The question number 6: if you don't have either performance standard or a code of conduct, do you know how to go about developing them and what they require for them to be accepted and practicing in your workplace? When we do not have performance standard, this will affect the quality of performance during work. We as an employee must be adaptive to the code of conduct in the organization or company. However, we believe that now an organization will not perform at optimal level and sustain that performance without also dealing effectively with workplace conduct or behavior. This is not simply about minimizing unfair dismissals or protecting the organization against harassment or bullying claims. It goes much further. It is about providing a happy and harassment-free workplace. It is about providing an environment where them and us mentally is eliminated. The conduct behavior we seek is about developing real teamwork where people genuinely look after each other's interests and accept that all of us have both right and obligation. It is about determining these rights and obligation and complying with them because they work rather than being driven by cloud of threats. 7. Please read chapter 2 on the page 25. What does the chapter teach you? Explain your answer. So it is about performance standard. Performance standard are guidelines the employee give to their employee to outline what company expect of them as a part of its team. They explain job duties and the qualities and to what qualities of employee should complete them. It allows for open communication between employer and employee, which can help the employee understand their responsibility, and it also explains how employee can meet these goals. For example, communication might be performance standard, and then the employer might explain what communication means and to the company and how the employee can meet this standard. Performance standards are also important because employers can use them as an evaluation tool. 8. How do you prepare to coach your people at the workplace? You can create a plan and set one specific goals or more to tackle during their coaching engagement. These goals should be based on the balance of the what of the employee and the needs of organization itself. Make sure goals are measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. And also the coach can be able to ask a good question set, such as what are they thinking and what they want to. The best way to develop these skills are to practice them every day, receive training, or ask for feedback from your team on how you can improve. Coaching leadership is all about two-way communication, so make sure to be equally receptive to answering question as well. Alright, so the last question number 9. Irrespective of whether feedback is given informally through on-the-job interaction or off the job during a formal review, it must be based on the following principle. Mention and explain the principle of use. So one is be linked to specific observed behavior. Be descriptive, not judgmental. So you cannot judge on your employee. Be limited and focused, not overwhelming. Be two-way based on the question or discussion that I mentioned before, not overwhelming. Be focused on the performance, not personality, unless the personality is need to be fixed. Be conclusive with the prescriptive outcomes, and then the last one is be presented in the personal way. Alright, so I have already answered for the part B. Now let's move to the part C, which deal with the video that has been given. The first video, it defines the performance management cycle and its stage, and explain how can effectively implement it within your organization and boost overall performance. The performance management cycle is an annually recurring the phenomenon in which employees are evaluated throughout the year. The goal of this cycle is to develop and execute the employees' performance plan. These plans help in the focusing employee efforts on achieving organizational goals, which in turn helps to align employees' priorities with the goals of organization. The process is divided into 4 stages. Let's go over them one by one. One is a planning. According to a meta-analysis by Cowley, Keeping, and Levi in 1998, this involvement increasing satisfaction with the performance cycle, as well as a perceived fairness, usefulness, and motivation to improving. Monitoring. In the monitoring phase, the goals set in the planning phase are actively tracked. Developing this can be under performance that should be corrected, or areas or superior performance in which the employee wants to excel even further. Rating and rewarding. Rating performance is an inevitability to determine the added value of employee to the organization. In case of superior performance, the employee should be recognized for their performance. This can be through giving them praise, a raise, time off, recognition, items, promotion, or all of the above. The question number 2 is it is about step-by-step coaching process to create a consistent result. 1. Establishing the goals and purpose by asking What would you like to be coaching on? 2. Lay out the plan. 3. Executing the action plan. 4 is reviewing and learning what mistakes must be corrected during the planning. The third video, it is about how to coach your employee. In this video, it say while coaching people, the managers should be able to observe the employee work and analyze is there any wrong from the work system that has been set. Therefore, choose the right path and set specific criteria for what the output should include and a timeline. Has this ever been done before? If so, is there someone else within the company or team who might provide some first-hand advice? Communication should come before, during, and after the process. It is important not to just give them instructions and send them on their way. And then the last video, it is about the purpose of performance management. In general, performance management activities may be used for administrative and or developmental purpose. The first purpose is administrative in nature because it is directly affects firm administrative decision regarding its workforce. Firms use performance evaluation to make decisions regarding their employee salary adjustment, merit raise, and incentive reward. The second purpose is of to developmental in nature, using performance evaluation information to help employees improve their performance in order to add more value to the company. However, performance evaluations serve a vital role in terms of identifying employees' training needs. Alright, so I already answered the question that has given by my lecturer, and part A, which deal with the Zoom meeting class, and then part B is related to the theories of performance management, and the part C is related to video that has been given. So I truly apologize if there any mistake from my work and then I hope that my answer can give you the benefit, and then maybe in the future when you work, so you can know how to perform your own skill in the workplace, and then set your performance skill with well, effective and efficiently. Thank you and be safe, everyone.